Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Object 260. It's a Soviet Tier 10 premium heavy tank, the reward tank for completing the last set of personal missions. And this one's located on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay under the command of Awppenheimer. Now it's armed with a 122mm gun, the BL-13-1, capable of 440 Alpha, and the turret, well, is very reminiscent of the Defender turret, or a cross between a Defender and an IS-7. In fact, this is better than an IS-7 in some ways. It's got different aspects to the IS-7. Good DPM, good gun handling, good frontal armour. And, well, battle has started. And as it's an Awppenheimer game, you are going to get a treat. So let's have a look and see exactly what he does. Straight up to the centre line, which is not what heavy tanks normally do. But then Awppenheimer's not like other players. He is Super Unicum, so he should get some good gameplay. Okay, reload time 8.64 seconds. Fairly long, but acceptable. Better than some tier 8 heavies. Ooh, Emil 2 coming up to the centre line, and over there an AMX 1319 not paying attention, and he pays for it with 512 hit points of damage, and he's wiped out shortly afterwards. There it goes to show that was a high roll, that one. 512. T54 just the other side, but the Emil is the one we've got to watch out for. He's got the auto reloader. No, try to go for the top of the turret, the T54. Now, will that Emil poke round the corner? Gives a chance at him. Oh! Well, the T54 made a mistake and came back up, and he's paid for that one as well for 35 hit points there. And again! 469, another high roll. Now, there's that Emil 2, and he's gone. Okay, that's good. Now, the Type 4 Heavy, the other side. Around. Oh, took around from the lever. Can't see the lever. 317 hit points is quite a big hit, but not so much that he has to worry about it just yet. Now, Type 4 Heavy is probably behind the houses because we're not getting an outline at all. Now, there was another tank over there. It's a T44. So if he pulls back, he needs to be careful that he's not seen, because otherwise that T44 might try a shot in the rear. Ignoring the Type 4. Oh no, he's looking to go back to it and see if he can get a shot. No, he's still behind those houses. And there's that lurver. And he's behind the houses too. Right, T-54's not so willing to come up now. And Awppenheimer's actually... Oh, lovely! He's got a shot in return into the lurver. That pays him back for that previous shot. And the lurver's been killed. And now this is really pushing the enemy back, because now he's occupied the centre line virtually completely, and the T-54 takes another round. It's a high roll, but only just. Can he get another shot? Kill shot? Yes, he does! So that's two important tanks out the game, or three if you include the lurver as well. One kill to Awppenheimer though. Awppenheimer, not Awppenheimer. So one hit on the T-44, 466, another high roll. So he's doing quite well with his rolls at the moment. He got a low one on that last shot, but that's only because the T-54 only had 305 hit points left. I'm sure it would have been the full force, or the full cream. Now there is a T-44 still over there. Oh, back chat. But he was seen by a gorilla and got one in the tracks. You get a shot in that back chat? Go to manual aim. Better. A nice hit, but the gorilla's probably reloading. Yes, he is. One into the tracks, and we took one into the observation device, and we took a hit from the T-44. They're all taking their toll, but only the T-44 actually caused hit point loss. The others missed and hit the tracks, or the observation device, so they didn't actually do any major damage, but he's going to have to watch out for that gorilla. Of course, the gorilla is capable of 750 alpha if he can get a penetrating shot. So 2 shots, he's fluffed it and hit the tracks. Awppenheimer now up to 4.3k of damage, or close to 4.4. Now there's a number of heavies in the town. He's dealt with everything on the centre line. I think he's now going to address those tanks in the town, give them some heavy metal treatment. Well, they're about to get a nasty shot. The Object 260 is going to do them a well. Oh, the Type 4 dies just before he sets there, but he puts a round into the IS-7, and it's a low roll this time. Can we get another shot in? Goes for the drive wheel, immobilises the IS-7 and bounces the round from him. He notices the alpha on the IS-7, 490. And yes, wipes him out with the next round. He's using heat ammo, which does help a lot. And if you want to perform well at this level, it does need special ammo. Oh, and another kill! This time the defender takes around 286, and he's happy about this. You can see that when the screen jiggled in and out. I think that shows he's on a roll. 4 kills so far. Potential high caliber. Now, there are still 7 enemies out there, and most of them are on the other side of the battlefield, but they're now being contained in the southwest corner. He's got his team with him, and they've only had 4 losses so far. I think he's going to use the tree line to advance towards that corner to avoid getting hit by that gorilla. There's also a third man up there, and a convoy. I think I'd be more worried about the gorilla and the third man than the others. Conway's got full... well, no, actually, he's not full health. There's the gorilla. No, he's behind the building, I think. Pretty sure he's behind the building. Oh, no, he might be over the ridgeline, but he is coming over this way now. Give me a quick look. Can we get a shot on the... Yes! And that's the 5th kill, so we're on course for a Top Gun. If only we can kill one of these tanks. Gorilla shows himself for a brief second. Can we get close without him putting a round into us? Oh no. 829, that's a high roll for the gorilla. But he's now on a long reload. So can we inflict some damage on him? There's the gorilla. Yes, 206. Well, that's not very high, but he did take a hit. In fact, there's 2 gorillas. I didn't realise there was 2. Should have looked at the screen. That's probably why he was hit so quickly after the last time when he was on the centre line. Yes, gets another one in, but takes a round from the gorilla for 77, which is low. And, oh, that's not so low. That's 638, but it's a low roll for the gorilla. And that gorilla takes a big high roll in return, 532. And he's out the game, which means now, can he get a one shot in that gorilla 15? Possibly, possibly. It's just holding back for the moment, because that third man, I think, maybe... Oh, he's not looking this way. A bit annoyed with that shot. Try and go for it again. Using standard ammo now. Yes! Took the third man out. That's his Top Gun. Going for the SU-130. Loaded. Yes! And another one. Oh, he got a fire! And that was an automatic fire extinguisher going off. And the SU-130 goes down, so it's now just the convoy. And he's low on hit points, so it's a one shot if we can get him. Can we spot him? The Jaeger is after him. Yes! And that wins the game. 7 kills. 1 short of the Radleys. And a very nice victory there for Awppenheimer. Good carry. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. Oh my god, look at this. It's an ace tanker for Awppenheimer in the Object 260. He got a demolition expert for blowing up an enemy tank. I can't remember which one it was he blew up, but he certainly blew up one of them. He got a fire for effect, a shell proof, a spotter for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist badge for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy vehicles, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 19 in that one. And the epic medals, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He was 1 short of getting a Radley Walters at tier 10. and a steel wall as well for blocking the most damage in the battle, at least 11 hits, over 1,000 hit points in total. And the win rate for the game, 11,591. Very solid victory there for Awppenheimer. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, just look at that. I mean, he really dominated this game. 8,336 hit points of damage in that game. The next nearest scorer was the Gorilla 15, who actually did do some damage to him. 4,496 hit points by him. When it came to kills, again, dominating 7 kills. The next highest scorer was the SU-130PM. He got 3, half as much, or less than half as much. And when it came to base XP, 1,419. That's really super Unicum level. He certainly earned that ace tanker. The next person was the M41D, got 1,057. And the E75, who got 797. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 26 rounds in that game. He got 21 direct hits and 19 penetrations. Splash damage on one as well. Damage of 8,336 hit points, of which 896 were at more than 300 meters. He received 12 hits from the enemy, so only just qualified for the steel wall. Got 4 penetrations and 7 non-penetrations, and most of those penetrations occurred from the guerrillas. And I didn't realize there was 2 to start with, but that obviously explains why he was getting hit so often on the center line, or getting hit by them even though they didn't damage him. 7 non-penetrations. Well, yes, some of their aiming was a bit inaccurate, and they were aiming for the tracks instead of trying to go through the side of the vehicle, and just didn't make it. 1 hit as a result of splash damage as well. Block damage of 2,770 hit points in that game. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 12 of the enemy, so there was only 3 enemy vehicles he didn't touch, and killed 7 of them. Damage assistance of 3,000, that's spotting assistance, 3,169 hit points, and most of that occurred when he was sitting on the center line watching what the enemy was doing and where the enemy was, to enable his other teammates to put rounds into them at distance. So on the credit side, he earned 114,101 credits from that 1 game alone. Shows how much he dominated it. Repair, ammunition resupply, and consumables. Remember, he did use a fair bit of heat ammo when he went into town, but he needed to. That left him in with only 24,417 credits left over to take away. If he'd actually been using a standard account, he would have made a loss on the game. But because he was using a premium account, he actually made a profit. He received 7 bonds for getting all those awards at tier 10. And he also earned 2,128 XP, 106 because this is a premium vehicle, and took away 2,234 experience points altogether. So a really great game there by Awppenheimer in the Object 260. And we've got a treat for you, because we've got more replays by Awppenheimer coming up very shortly. He sent us in a batch of them all together, and some of them are really good. So do stick around, and we'll have another one for you in the next video. And I hope you enjoy it. If you did enjoy this one, please give it a like, and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully there'll be more great replays in the very near future. Thank you.